Just fucking use my PayPal.
Insufficient funds.
Are you kidding me?
Please try a different payment method.
All right. There you go.
Insufficient funds. Please try a different payment method.
Hold on. Fucking hell.
In fairness to John, PayPal is a fucking pain in the ass.
I hate to put my credit card in.
Insufficient funds. Please try a different payment method.
All right, fuck this. Let me go to credit card. Fuck, hold on. Fuck PayPal. Let me go credit card. Why do they need my email address? There we go. Card number. Okay.
Was he doing this all live last night? John, how long does it take you to make a donation?
I don't give a fuck about you, but I don't want to see any kids suffer. Okay. Name on card. Okay. Okay. $50. Turns out it'll be $59.50. Hit donate.
Credit card denied. Balance limit exceeded.
Hold on. Fucking hell.
Good afternoon, 221 fans. That's right. It has been revealed that John R. Melendez has scored pretty high in his high school exams. He's actually was ranked pretty high in a class of 336 people. And when I said that when I get attacked, I need to be able to defend myself, and it doesn't happen often, but when you do, and when you hire high-priced attorneys, they go find everything. I mean everything. I'm paying literally $1,250 an hour. So John R. Melendez, I don't know how much his attorneys cost, but mine costs $1,250 an hour if they have a partner do it. And a partner in a law firm is someone who has equity in the firm, an owner. And then they have associates, the regular attorneys, then they have paralegals, and they have assistants. You should see the bill that I get. But either way, what they uncover is absolutely magnificent. When we talk about the cream of the crop, the people who have grit, the ones that don't get a day off. When I heard John R. Melendez talking about the male persons and how he admired them because they work 28 days. Well, guess what? If you work for a large firm, especially in your first 5 years, you don't get any days off. I'm not talking any days off. Super Bowl, Christmas, fuck you. You will be at the office, and that's the way it goes. I've never had to actually hire that type of firm until this, but I go against them a lot. And I see the grit that they have, the diligence that they have, and the things that they uncover are great. And Carl somehow got John R. Melendez's high school transcript, which we're going to go through later. And if you saw the thumbnail here, there was a big blunder by my good buddy Carl. I pointed it out to him privately. He's trying to backtrack what happened. We're going to go through Carl's big blunder there. We have a lot to get through. Jackie Martling, the old joke man, was on the BS show this morning, and he was great. I was watching part of it. We were able to get some of it too. But let's go to our first clip. If you remember, old Kenneth Poe. Why I love K-Po is there are certain people that have the attitude that nothing is their fault, that it's always doomsday, and they're always doom and gloom. And that's why I love K-Po, because I want to be like that. I want to blame every problem on someone else. I don't. My unfortunate thing is I take accountability for it for the most part. But this guy I love because I just want to give up like K-Po. If something happens, it's not his fault. He's got that slumdog look, and I love it. So here we have K-Po. Apparently he moved out of his old flop house that we saw. He was living with his wife in his wife's parents' flop house, and he moved to this other flop house where he's got various roommates. The only problem for K-Po is he's renting one room, and he's locked out. So we're going to follow K-Po throughout this show as he tries to get into his room. I mean, this is a big deal for K-Po. He's got to get into his room. And sometimes every day in your life, you're going to face major issues, major tasks. Some people may try to attack you. You got to spend $55,000 to defend it. I mean, you do get some good content coming out of it in theory. But either way, let's see how K-Po is doing here. And he's going to tell us his major incident, which I'm already telling you. He's locked out of his flop house room.
What's up, YouTube? The housemate was going to give me a key for my room.
Yeah, it's the housemate's fault. He locked himself out of the room, but the housemate was supposed to give him a key to his flophouse room. So it's definitely not K-Pow's fault.
2-3 weeks ago, never did. And then when I left the house a little while ago, apparently I locked my fucking door to my room.
And we're going to follow his adventure. Now, why I'm putting that up there is because the Uncle Rico show was on while I was on the treadmill. And then I saw Capo come on, and there was 1 or 2 viewers. But you know what? His show was so goddamn interesting. The trials and tribulations of him trying to get into his flophouse room were so entertaining to me. And I chatted him the next day asking him about the background information, because the last time we saw he was at his wife's flophouse, and now he's in this new flophouse. But we're going to get back to that. This is from this morning. This is the Joke Man on the Dues Payer show. And let's see what's going on. I didn't actually get to see this part yet.
We have membership levels. You get content behind.
So Jackie's in there. Jackie's at a hotel room, which I knew where he was. And he's calling in. He doesn't have the proper microphone and the proper earbuds. But either way, you have the Joke Man there. One theme you got to see is the Dues Payer and Bob both recognize that Jackie's willing to do shows on YouTube. And watch as both of them compete to get Jackie to come on their respective channels.
The paywall on this channel as well, but you have to pay for it. So there are 2 levels. There's a $4.99.
Jackie's 100 years old, Dues Payer. He doesn't need you to describe to them the levels on YouTube. Just get on with it. And guys, when Jackie's on, can you just skip the gifted memberships? He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't need to hear any of the information that's all technical stuff. He does not have any clue what the hell you're talking about. I don't even know if Jackie's eyes are open. And we gotta talk to Jackie about trimming those eyebrows. But I would love to see Jackie do a show on Levyverse, on the Dues Payers channel, one of them.
Level 1 and a $9.99 level 2. And these people, when they gift these memberships, they're gifting a level 1 membership to people. So now
one of their friends, like they send it
to anybody who.
And another thing too, we had to do as much work as we could to increase Jackie's volume. Because they use Baby StreamYard, they don't have the ability to really change volumes in the technical sense. And if you have someone there that is like Phil needs to be checking the volumes and making sure that Jackie's coming in a lot higher. Believe it or not, when you're going live, audio is a much harder thing than video. Audio is a weird thing. So they need to upgrade from Baby StreamYard, but here I have to do it for them, or had my people do it for them to actually increase the volume on Jackie.
Is in the chat that doesn't have a membership. It automatically goes to them. Yeah.
They do know there are charities out there and there are children starving.
Yeah, I am.
Donate the money to them instead of
For them.
Yeah, my kids are fucking starving. Feel free to send in as many memberships as you want.
Yeah, Jackie, this is a good thing for you. You should, you know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying, Jack. You can make more money than you do on the road sitting at.
You hear that? You can make more money than on the road. Now, when the Dues Payer failed to show up for his show, and I was there, Bob was there, Mike was there, Zen was there. We were all there except for the Dues Payer, and the Dues Payer had a family emergency, which they needed him to smoke pot in the basement and go live. I said it was a smart move by the Dues Payer. Smart move for the short term, meaning he can make more money sitting in his basement handling the family emergency high, talking to Cumia and doing his show, than actually going to Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania, freezing his ass off and performing for an hour. And they're 100% right. And I'm proud that these guys can do that. I don't know if Jackie's getting that concept yet, but watch as both Bob and Shuli vie for Jackie to come on their channel.
At home doing Joke Hunt, for example, on YouTube.
Everybody screams at me, why don't you do a podcast? And, me and Peter Bales have a podcast called Stand Up Memories. And we're about to start our 5th season. I think we got 3 viewers.
And Jackie's telling you there, and that's where this market has moved from. Jackie obviously has a name with the old timers, the older people, but us included, like 45 to about 99 years old, that lucrative market. People will know him. However, you can't just do a podcast. And they're telling him, dude, do it live here, Jackie. You'll actually be able to grift from our fans like we do throughout the day.
And we've had such great shows, but they don't know what they're doing. But I just
come over here, Jack. Come over here.
Yeah, look at the old Dues Payer. He's sensing there's blood in the water. And Jackie, look at him waving those arms. Finally, the Dues Payer's up. Come over here, Jackie.
I got a whole team. I got a staff. All you got to do is sit in front of a mic and you go live.
Yeah,
and make some money.
All you have to do is sit in front of Mike and go live. We know that. Now, here's why I say distance yourself from Phil Russo. Why would Phil put fuck you up there? I don't even know, because the Dues Payer didn't even say anything negative to him. We know how great Phil is live as a entertainer. And this is the problem. Howard Stern had the same problem. Once you figure out that your staff can actually go live and be entertaining, they all want to be superstars, right? So we know now that Phil Russo is amazing live. Amazing. Way better than the other guy, Andy. And look at all the offense he takes. Now, this is so inappropriate, not because it's offensive, it's just not timed properly. That guy, in terms of producing, it's not his cup of tea. Phil Russo should not be producing. He should be live.
You got headphones, too.
We got headphones. We got the works over
Now,
here.
wait, who just gave me the fuck you? Is that you, Shirley?
What? No, that was my producer, Fraud.
See, like, and then he puts his thing up there. That is so poorly timed. So poor. And again, if the dues payer wants to keep that guy around, fine. But now Jackie has no clue what's going on. You have to know that Jackie's 100 years old. He doesn't get it.
He's backstage. He puts up pictures and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
he's a frog. He's an
What was
asshole.
the fuck?
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, how the dues payer allows him the freedom to put up anything he wants. He's got to have it run through someone like a Gary. Somebody. Don't allow Phil to have any type of control.
To you or to me?
No, he's a Shuli.
It's more to me. He doesn't like
Yeah.
me as a boss, which is fine. That'll work.
He's an anti-Semitic.
Yeah, he hates Jews. And
Join the crowd. Join
get lost. A few more people.
anti-Semitic. I mean, surely you were doing this podcast stuff for about 4 seconds, and all of a sudden you were making a profit. I said, yeah, I know guys have been doing it for 10 years, and they're still looking to raise the money to pay for their iPhone. You know.
I got the guys.
There's a major mistake by Jackie. And a lot of people think that, and I get this a lot in totally unrelated channels and unrelated businesses. Oh, I have a name. I should be able to go on and make money like these other people are doing. I should just do unboxing videos, whatever the fad is at the time. It doesn't work like that. Almost every successful channel has at least 6 to 8 years worth of work that is being put in. And just because the dues payer has a name, that's great. That gives them a great start, but your product must be great. So we have Jackie claiming he has a great product, but it's on some platform that no one's ever heard of. And I had no idea Jackie's doing a show. Imagine all the energy he's putting into doing a show. I believe he's probably traveling somewhere to do the show as well. And the dues payer is right here in the sense that Jackie can make more money by doing this show.
With me, it's a home run with these guys. I got the boys in the back helping produce, and we found a golden drooling goose, and so we're going to milk it till every drop is dry. Brad Nord, big fan. Where's that old cunt Jackie? Thought he died. No. Oh, he's right there. There you go, Brad. Thank you for the $2. See that, Jackie? $2.
He paid $2 to say he thought I was dead.
That's right.
The show. Well,
Now, Jackie hears that. $2 right there for an insult. I know Jackie. He is salivating now. How the fuck did these guys just make $2? Jackie would do anything for $2. Anything.
Well, you gotta-
at the end of the show, yeah, but so far I'm not dead. I don't think. I don't know.
Bill Dog with another $20 for Jackie, and he loves it. You're killing.
Oh, man. If Jackie sees $20, and I don't know if he's computing yet that this is actual money that's being paid, he is going to get into this. Guaranteed. Bob or Shuli, and I'm sure they're going to compete for it. But either way, you let them know that's real money, minus the 30% that YouTube takes. But that's real money that Jackie could be making. If Jackie can figure out he's making $40, he'll do the show.
So he's paying you $20 so he can go. Yee.
Yeah, there, another guy, Joseph
Oh,
Silva.
man.
Just what I need. A little BS show this morning as I sit here in the waiting area of MSK. Love the show last night. Keep rocking, boy.
Now, for those of you who don't know what MSK is, it is the #1 cancer hospital in the world. I had a personal issue with it, meaning that they helped someone in my family. That is Sloan Kettering. That's the name of the hospital. But these dopes have no idea what it is. Jackie's really smart. Jackie went to Michigan State University. And that's a great university. I don't even know if any of these guys collectively have graduated high school. So they have no idea what MSK is, Memorial Sloan Kettering. And I vowed never, ever, ever to sue MSK. But then again, there was one case where I did. But either way, I have so much respect for this place. If any of you, when you get cancer, because everyone seems to get it, that's the place you need to go. Not these bullshit companies that are advertising on TV. You have to go to Sloan Kettering.
It's Joseph Silva. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, sir. MSK. It's a good question.
There's no way. Oh, man. Look at the faces on these guys. Man, look how hard they're trying to think. MSK.
MSK.
Inside thing. The
Martin
way
Luther King.
the way
Martin Luther King.
Mike Moore said Martling Super King. I mean, he's trying to figure it out. These guys don't know. They don't know what the good hospitals are. And look, not everyone out there knows. But my God, if any of you have cancer out there, and apparently dues payers' entire audience is sitting in a hospital waiting room, if any of those reasons when you super chat in are because you have cancer, you should be at Memorial Sloan Kettering. It's right here in Manhattan. It is the #1 cancer treatment place in the world. In the world. Not the state, not the country, the world.
Not Sloan Kettering.
Yeah, see, Jackie's smart. He understands. And it took him, he's 100 years old. It took him about 3 or 4 seconds. And you got the dues pair, Bob, Zen, Mike. They have no idea. Zero clue.
Oh, yeah. Might be.
Yeah.
Might be. Yeah.
We better talk fast.
See how fast Jackie is with that? Of course, he's saying we better talk fast because the guy's probably going to die, or girl.
Yeah. Yay, super chats work for me again. Jackie, love you since 1986. Thanks for all the laughs. What's your single most favorite strain ever? Talking weed.
Oh, that's got to be to make seeds. You don't want.
Right. What about edibles? Were you?
It's like drinking seltzer, blueberry. And, should I know who that is?
It's some guy. I think he used to be on a show where other comedians would do everything.
And what's the other? I don't know. They got different flavors, and the shit's great. It's really great.
Julie, you're too loud. You're too loud.
Oh, so then Shuli's mic goes out during the show. I don't know what happened, but they have to pull him out of the show.
I'm too loud?
No, Julie.
Something's happened to your microphone,
No,
Julie.
he muted it.
No, he's not muted.
Oh.
I'll
take over.
Come back in.
Thank God we got rid of him. Mr. Spittle, $50. See that, Jackie? That's why you should come here. Jackie, you are a legend. Please send the drunk failure known as Stuttering John straight. All he does is trash you and talk.
You know, I know that there's writing down here, but I'm too vain to put on my glasses.
Yeah, Jackie is a very vain person. And if he understood that that was $50 coming in, the joke man will sign up today, dues pair. You got to let him know that that's real money. I don't think he really grasped that concept yet. But if he does, I mean, he'll do a show for literally for $40. And he'll get a lot more. He'll make a lot more.
That old, so you have to read these to me. I don't know who that person is.
Stuttering John. He's saying talking shit.
Should I know who that is?
It's some guy. I think he used to be on a show where other comedians would do everything.
I told Julie I'd love to come on and talk with you, but there's no winning. Addressing him. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't had any contact in a long time, but all I hear is how horrible he is to me all the time. And I know he's just baiting me to try and get me to call in or something. I have no interest, and I told Julie that. I'll talk about pot.
Jackie, you big fucking pain in the ass. And this is where you will fail if you come on here. Don't come in, and this is what he did. I've dealt with this before. I'm not talking about Stuttering John. You can ask me anything except for Stuttering John. I mean, he has no problem making a great cancer joke about a cancer victim that's about to die because he has to speak quickly. Now he wants to give these ultimatums. I'm not going to do this. Well, Jackie, that's the whole point. You have to be open and honest. There's nothing worse than someone coming on here and putting on a show when they're not authentic. And we need to hear your thoughts on Stuttering John. John is not talking shit about you. I listen to John Melendez a lot. He does not talk negatively about you unless he feels threatened, and then he's going to respond like a typical narcissist. Although John's not one, he does have the tendency to respond and overreact to things that he is told. And John, unfortunately, is very naive. Whatever people tell him, he believes. So, Jackie, John is not talking shit about you. In fact, he called you yesterday during his show to let you know he's not. And I know he's not. Despite all my issues I have with John Melendez, I can tell you that he is not there trashing you. But I don't want to have this old man telling us what he can and cannot say. And I'll tell Jackie right to his face, and not in a negative way. But why are you coming in not letting people hear what they really want to hear? We don't care if you hate or love John Melendez, but come on and be very truthful with how you feel. Don't make us walk around the subject. It's just not what this is about. If you want to do that, do a podcast for the 4 people that you're doing it for. But if you're going to do this, you got to come in and be willing to give everything for the show.
I'll talk about my cock, which is pretty big. I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about Hemingway's next week at 8 o'clock. And where's it?
And always plugging Jackie Martin. That's why you got to love him. Always plugging to the day he dies.
Seaside Heights.
Oh, since Julie's gone. You ever hear her leave?
So Shuli's gone, and Bob senses that they got Jackie on the hook here. I mean, with $20 super chat, Jackie's on the hook. And if Jackie really understands that that's $20 in his pocket, he will do a show, Bob. Now, we know that Bob would love to get him on the Levyverse. Love it. I mean, Bob has that cunty Kenny show. He has the Unwatchables. But if he can land Jackie Martling, that would be huge for him.
We can use a guy like, you should do a show here, truthfully, because we have the audience that loves to see you.
They're great. It's great people, too.
It's great people. Like Peter would do really good here with them, too.
Hey, what about, I don't know how it works, the whole network thing, but could we put our show on your network?
Yeah, like
That's
you
what
should do
we're
it.
talking about.
Yeah, you want to do it live here, and then
He's back.
you can put it back on your other thing, and then and then we just send people to leave you.
See how smart Bob is? And you may think, oh, Bob doesn't understand computers. And I tell you how beautifully he speaks when it's in private. I spoke with him and Gina yesterday for over an hour. Over an hour speaking with them. They're fine. And Bob is smart. And he's telling Jackie great business advice. It would be the same thing I would tell him too. Do your shows live here. And then if you're contractually obligated to put them on wherever the hell you're doing it, which you're probably not, then put it on there. But do it live here. We're grifting off our fans big time. We're begging for super chats. We're living and dying off these super chats. Do it here. And Bob is 100% right. But when Bob says here, he really means Levyverse.
And it's simultaneously it's on Tied In Media, which is this guy started a media company. And we do the show there. We don't do it live. Of course we could, but we don't do it live. But if that's living on his network, could it also be posted on your network? I don't know how it works.
No one wants to hear that show, Jackie. No one wants to hear it. That's why there's no audience for it. And it's on a platform that's no one ever heard of. YouTube is where it's at. If you want to come on here, you got to be honest and frank. And we asked you about Stuttering John. You got to get over the fact. John is okay. John Everett is a strong, big boy. You should see the biceps on that guy. I don't understand. John works out for 3 weeks, and he's got the best biceps I've ever seen, besides Bob's. I don't get it. But either way, actually, John Everett Melendez told me that he's on that steroid, whatever that the old guys take. He is on it, and so is KC. I'll be honest about both. Sorry, KC, but both those guys are on it. I won't take steroids. That's the one thing I won't take, besides illegal drugs too. But yeah, Bob is very smart here, Jackie. Do the live show and then put it on whatever bullshit you got going on elsewhere.
You should go live here, and then put it up on your thing because people love live.
I'll ask Peter about it, and so we could do it anywhere, right? We wouldn't have to do it.
Right.
We wouldn't have to come to you. Well, hold on. Come in. Who is it?
So we had room service go and actually make a request for Jackie. It wasn't room service. It was housekeeping. We called up for, I think they wanted 5 bottles of lotion we called for, and then towels as well. Lotion and towels.
Hold on, the maid wants to come in and rifle my wallet. Hold on.
Go for it. Did you read this one for Jackie?
No, I didn't get it.
All right, so we'll wait. We'll wait for him to come back.
I was trying to sign a contract with him at Levyverse.
Yeah, that's why I had to rush back.
Yeah, so you heard Bob. He wasn't joking. I'm trying to get him to sign a contract with Levyverse. Of course he is. And the Deuce Pair, he's frantic behind the scenes trying to get back in from his basement back into this baby StreamYard program.
It's gonna like your blue chip prospects about to be swooped out from under you.
Bob Levy's wheeling and dealing again with the wheeling.
He should definitely do it.
What a great that is the fastest hand job I think I've ever done.
We didn't request a hand job. We just requested I think we said like 10 bottles of lotion and towels.
That was just amazing.
Genius for one stream. I gotta ask Jackie, what's worse?
Oh yeah.
I love you, Jade. I'm not gonna get into that.
Why would you take it away?
Yeah, he needs to.
Listen to Jackie. So they put up a super chat, and I'll go back to it. And he's like, why would you take it away? And Jackie's smart in that sense, but he did come in with his ultimatums, which I hate. I say that if you're going to give me an ultimatum, then don't even do the show, because I don't want to have any topics that are off limits. So this is too much comedic genius for one stream. J-Dead, I don't know who this guy is, but great. Always start with these dopes with a compliment, or you could say that you're a Marine and that you are waiting in the waiting room with your mom on a hospital bed. I got to know what's worse, a daughter that tries to grow a cock for her dad's approval, or B, a grown man sucking on beers all day because mom never weaned him off her tit. Good question. Obviously, he's referring to John Everett Melendez, but this is what Phil put up there. And the dues payer is gatekeeping fine, but it's already up there, dues payer. And if you're going to say that only John Everett Melendez attacks your family, well, you're doing it too. You are responsible for every super chat that you put up, every single super chat. So you have to either do it or not, but you're clearly having someone attack John Everett Melendez's daughter, his oldest daughter. And I don't think it's right. I just don't think it's right to say that.
Jackie, what's worse? All right. I love you, Jade. I'm not going to get into that.
Why would you take it away?
Yeah, he
trust me. Trust me. You don't want to get involved.
It really wasn't that bad, but it's still, if you're going to cry because John Everett Melendez attacks your wife or whoever, then you can't put that up there. And if you're going to do it, at least go through with it. Have some courage and go through.
He's not in a wheelchair because he can't walk. He's in a wheelchair because his cock is so big he can't walk around with it.
Julie Frog and Don
Okay. So this was from, I think, last night or 2 nights
kicked
ago.
ass last night. We want more.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you fucking losers want any tips, let us know.
And I told you, because I loved Phil performing so much, he was going to get this ego. And now Phil realizes he should be doing a show. He shouldn't be producing and cutting all this shit up. He should be doing it.
So you're the guy. I mean, it really is our worst nightmare, is that it all just was going to go to his head.
Yeah. Well, it's bound to happen. Frog and Dawn carried 3.5 hours, and it was a blast. Long overdue, and I hope it continues. Genius move, TSN. Christian, these guys are brilliant, and they deserve the recognition that they're getting, and I'm glad they're getting it because that means I
indicators of deception on the dues pair while he's saying that, but I 100% agree. Loved Phil, didn't like Andy so much, but I loved the collective
pay
show.
him less. Maybe more people pay him to do stuff. So yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
What?
We were doing the math a second ago about how many shows John would have to do to make what we made last night. I thought a better way to express it would be to show you what Vince made today reviewing our show.
Oh no.
Vince, this is a lot easier for people to understand. I think Vince would have to do 1,000 shows.
Yeah, I guess so. That was the numbers for our show. I don't even remember having super chats on the last show. Again, I do the show for the quality. I don't ask to grift for anyone. In fact, if you had the real numbers, it would be negative because I always pledge to give every single dollar away. Now, John Aaron Melendez and I have an issue, so I can't do it. But in reality, guys, it would be less than this. I would have to probably do 2,000 shows to get the money that they made. So apparently they netted about $2,000 on the show that I loved. I don't know why they're attacking me. They're come after me for my show, only making $2, which is funny. And now I don't know what to do because I was so complimentary of Phil. And I'm not going to change my opinion because they attack me. But in business, you will learn this. When you make a contract and you get a new client and they agree to pay you, let's say, $20 or $100 or $2,000, never, ever count that money until it's in your account. Ever. That means you don't think that you made this money until it's literally in your account. So what this playboard does is it actually rips the numbers from the show, and it's very accurate. It's the gross numbers, and mine are pretty gross at $2 in super chats. But then obviously YouTube takes their cut. We don't know who I have to pay with that $2 at all. I have no idea what it has to be, but I will say this. Always, guys, always worry about the account. So I don't know. Should we check my account? If we go to my account, I mean, I may have to mute some of this. Hold on. Because it's important that you check accounts, guys, not just one channel, because this doesn't tell you two things. It doesn't tell you how many channels I either work on or have a financial interest in, nor does it tell you the AdSense, which, again, it's not going to be a lot. So this is funny. However, we don't know where the dues payer's money goes, right? We can see that he made $362,000 overall, but we don't know the net. We don't know how much is in the account. And for any business, always worry about the account. What is in the account? Hold on, I may have to... I may have to mute this for a second. I don't know that...
$2,066,956.75, all of which is available for use. Main menu.
What was that number?
Or to search for a transaction, press 1. For balance information, press 2. The checking account you entered has a present balance of $2,066,956.75, all of which is available for use.
So I just did the quick math, and luckily for me, according to that dues payer, you have to do 1,066 shows to make that money. I'm happy you guys made the money, but I'll say to you this. Don't worry about what Playboard says, because it never tells you what the interest other people have, and it never tells you the net amount. And more importantly, always remember this, especially with YouTube, Don't ever count that money until it's in your account. You know what can happen? If you had, let's say, $1 million coming to you, and that's not just from months, right? What you just heard. But if you have $1 million coming to you, and I've seen this happen, and all of a sudden your account gets terminated, they don't pay you that $1 million at all. At all. So they have the right, because it's in the contract you have with YouTube, that they don't have to pay you. So that money's not in your account. I would be very weary if I'm just worrying about how much a show is grifting off of other people. I said that from the beginning. It's not because I don't believe in my show. I know it's better than theirs, and that's not the issue. I believe in the content, the quality of the content first, before you start begging your fans for money. Carl's the same way. He has the same philosophy as I do when it comes to this. So I do thank whoever gave me that $2 super chat. But Deuce Bear and Phil, you got 1,066 shows that you owe me to make that money. And I like Phil. I am not going to go back on my opinion on how much I love Phil's show. People thought it was a joke. I didn't. I liked it. I liked it a lot because a lot of the chats were going through. But more importantly, I liked them performing.
Good pick. That makes the numbers game much easier. If a high school dropout like me can follow that math, you did it right. Good
Joe,
job.
why are you poking the teddy bear? Stop.
Now, does YouTube look at?
And thank you, Chicken Boy, for the super chat. Now, if we just keep it at $2, I can do it again. But I appreciate it.
That and go, we weren't going to take our 30.
You just take the whole $2.
Yeah, it is a good question. If you only make $2, YouTube will automatically take their 30%.
They don't take their cut.
That's funny.
Shout out, Sheet Shitterson.
Okay, so this is the numbers that are from the Playboard channel that gives you the actual numbers. Now, we use a different service because this is a free service, but this is the gross amount. So this is how much I made, and it's well deserved. That was a great show, and to get $2,000. Now, here's the issue, though. We don't know if any of that is real. I'm presuming that it's all real. I have no proof to say that it isn't, but let's just say the dues payer chatted in $500 worth of super chats. In fact, we know that he did, and they're losing the 30%. We don't know. That's why I say go back to the account. Always go to the account for every business. Don't worry about the businesses that tell you they have all these interests in their channel. I want to see the net result in the account. That's why we go to the account for the money, not here, because we don't know if this is real. We don't know if it's split up 7 different ways. Then all of a sudden, it doesn't seem that great. And you got to be careful when you're analyzing. All right, so let's get back to our good buddy Capo. He's still locked out. He's in his flop house now, and apparently he has roommates, and he's still locked out, and he's really bummed out. Now, this is going on for 45 minutes. It was great because I was running 45 minutes, and I got to watch this whole thing.
Trying to make the best of a bad situation here. I wanted to go up into my room and fire up my computer, do a stream.
I mean, this guy had big plans, and our old slump dog Capo just can't get into that room. And only if he can get into that room, major things would happen. Great things.
Work on some jewelry, fix up my Etsy shop, but I can't. I'm stuck down here on the couch. Someone's home, but yo, Johnny.
What?
I locked myself out of my room.
I guess in this new flop house, there's just a bunch of other vagrants that are renting rooms, and I guess this guy Johnny came in. What the fuck? That's nice of that roommate there to just laugh at you.
You know how to pick it?
If there's not a bar in the way, I could probably recognize it, but let me see.
Where'd you learn this? Like Fallout?
Look at Capo. He has a black roommate, and he goes, do you know how to pick it? Of course he does. And he goes, where'd you learn it? Fallout? I think Fallout's a video game or not. You know where he learned it, and you know why he asked him. Is there anything better than a locksmith than a black roommate when you're locked out? Capo is in luck, and I'm watching this. I'm laughing my ass off. This was so entertaining, as opposed to listening to the dues payers watered down chat with your little babies in there not saying anything negative, and all those super chats from all the people in the hospital and all the Marines and all the vets. This was entertaining. So I figured, all right, he's got a black roommate who claims he can open this door from Fallout. So let's see.
I have a bombshell for us today. I'm going to tease it right now. I have John's high school transcripts. Thank you so much for the person who sent these to me.
totally unrelated, but I do want to thank my attorneys for getting some very, very critical evidence that is going to help me tremendously, that has helped me tremendously. And the cool thing is, I did have to spend, so you hear those numbers that I gave you, the real numbers, and then you have to deduct the amount that I had to pay for them. But I have a lot of content now, a lot of documents, and a lot of things that I can use for these shows. Now, I don't know how Carl got that transcript. I have no idea. But it's pretty cool to get someone's high school transcript. And it's done legally. And how great is that? How great is it when you have the right people working for you? And when you're attacked, you have to put the biggest defense you ever can. You have to know everything about your enemy. I mean everything. Not just what they show on a show, but everything. I want to know what they got in 9th grade algebra. I want to know exactly who I'm dealing with. Because a high school report card is very indicative of someone's actual success. People think that has nothing to do with it. Now, Bob's the exception, Shuli's the exception, but for the most part, it will tell you exactly who you're dealing with.
Because fucking Menser John, we're going to find out how smart he really was. Constantly bragging about NYU. Oh, Carl went to SUNY Brockport. Dude, you went to a community college, and there's still no evidence that you graduated from NYU.
So we know that Carl went to SUNY Brockport. Those of you who know our college system here, SUNY standing for State University of New York. Technically, it's all one university in theory with different branches. Carl went to one of the worst ones, Brockport. But we know Carl's articulate. He's smart. And John went to Nassau Community College, which when you're on Long Island, there's 2 community colleges that the derelicts go to that have no guidance and no future. I mean, almost everyone graduates from high school. I would say in our school it's about 99%, but nationally probably it's only about 50%. So I didn't realize that. But if you have no guidance and you're just a derelict, you go to Nassau Community College or Suffolk County Community College, Suffolk County being further out on Long Island. This was the closest derelict community college that John went to. However, I'll say this, that I don't think Nassau and Brockport are that far apart in terms of education.
And when we look at what John did in high school, wow. And honestly, I don't care if you drop out of high school, like Shuli and Bob.
Notice the indicator that we heard from old Carl. Honestly, I mean, Carl understands. That is kind of embarrassing that the newspaper didn't graduate from high school, especially coming from a nice Jewish family. That is unheard of, especially an Israeli family. But either way, you heard the honestly there.
I think Anthony.
Producer Chris.
Does anyone in the Dabbleverse have a high school diploma besides John Ever Melendez?
All right, we're Cardiff. A lot of high school dropouts. But to brag about how smart you are and to be this fucking bad at school is incredible, especially teaching math and science. Really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I don't know how Carl got this, but it was a beautiful, beautiful find to get.
Stuttering John's high school transcript. We blurred out personal information. June of 80.
You know what's cool? The parent or guardian is Ralph. And I wonder if John actually did that on purpose. He put Ralph as his parent or guardian, the one that was beating him. I thought he would put Osa as the guardian.
3.
Amazing.
John ranked, not approximately, exactly 221 in a graduating class of 336.
And with that, 221 has been born. Do we nickname? Of course we do. John Ever Melendez's nickname is obviously the Duke, but 221, hashtag 221, was born with this 221 out of 336. Pretty good. So now we have 221. We got the Duke, and we got obviously John Ever Melendez and his report card here. I don't know how Carl got this, but it was a good find.
That would put him in the lower third, Johnny. You were in the lower third of your stupid fucking class.
So Carl is bragging, obviously, about how great he is at what he does. But apparently, John Ever Melendez was in the lower third, 221 out of 336.
You idiot.
Top 222.
He's in the top 230. Right. That's another way to look at it. Okay. So let's look at these grades, because I'm looking for A's. I want to see how many A's did John get. Before I reveal this, first off, English. John got a 75 in freshman year, 73 sophomore, 65 junior, 69 was
69,
his total grade for English.
That's impossible.
Maybe he's better in Spanish. We'll find out in just a moment here. Let's. I don't want to share what's going on the other side. Let me zoom in a little bit more.
Oof.
All right. African Asian Studies 72, European History 75, American History 1 69.
Thank you for super chat. Vince, like a lot of us, I was skeptical of the Melendez suit. When I read the lawsuit and saw your attorney wasn't you but Brittany Weiner, I see you are in it to win. Brittany is a top-tier lawyer, bar none. One of the best attorneys that I've ever met. She is my law partner here. She actually started as an intern here, and she went to University of Michigan initially. And yeah, it doesn't matter exactly with regard to, sometimes it does. Actually, your attorney does make a huge difference. A lot of people don't understand that, but you need to have the right case too. And when I found out that John R. Melendez went behind my back and did this on I think it was Twitter at the time, the reason why I didn't know is because when you just searched for whatever, I couldn't find it because it didn't come up in the search. So they had to go through manually and look at every single thing. I don't want to republicize what John Edward did, but yeah, it's serious. And it's serious in New York. It's serious because I'm located in New York, and it's serious because of what he said about my business. And that's huge. It's huge when you're attorney, because I don't like defamation lawsuits. I actually hate them. I've been successful with them, but on behalf of clients, but I don't particularly like them. But when the facts all line up, then it makes it a hell of a lot easier.
This is a guy who talks about fucking politics all the time. Doesn't know anything about anything. Economics, 69.
That checks out.
Hey, Teach, what do you think of World War II?
Modern world problems. He did very well. 86.
I think that's John's highest grade. An 86 in modern world problems, mainly because he's probably causing them all.
That's a B. You got a B in one thing there, buddy.
I wonder why.
Congratulations. Spanish 1, 76. Spanish 2, 73.
You would think John, being half Puerto Rican, would have done well in Spanish because, Ralph was fluent in Spanish.
Remember, I went to SUNY Brockport, everyone.
See,
SUNY Brockport.
At the top, they're showing the years. I thought those were grades, and I'm like, oh, that's...
I did too. So you see 80, 81, 82. I'm like, oh, John's doing really well. He's actually progressing nicely. But I didn't realize that was actually the year. So in 1980, 81, obviously, it gives John's grade, and then it'll give you how many credits he got. Now, John has claimed that he has a Regents diploma. Regents diploma is sort of an elevated diploma where you take Regents exams. Those are our New York State exams. I don't see evidence of that in here. It looks like he took 1 or 2 Regents classes. He could be lying about that.
Not that bad. 80, 81, 82, 83.
Nope, those are the calendar years. Right. That's funny. Let's talk about math. Algebra. 76. Applied geometry. 74. Intro to this is intro to computers.
Yeah.
F.
Yeah, Devin was going through this, and we were trying to figure out exactly what computers in 1982 John would be working on, but he did get an F. And I said before, how indicative of your future success is your high school diploma. We know John is horrible at computers. He's bad at political science and politics. He's horrible at math. And here he is. And look at the home economics, as we'll see. When you go into John's flop houses, they're all horrible.
Shocking. Just a fail on computers. What are the chances? He's so good at them now. So this is the math teacher right here. I just want to point out, and I never talk about this. It's not something I find interesting in any way, but John loves to talk about SUNY Brockport. I went into SUNY Brockport with 6 credits in calculus from high school.
Look at this big bragger. 6 credits in calculus from high school. So that means Carl actually took AP classes, advanced placement classes, and he actually passed them with a high enough grade that he would get credit at SUNY Brockport. I don't know why you need to go into Brockport with any type of college credit, but that's what he did. So that's impressive.
I took Calc 3 my first semester of my freshman year, got an A in it.
Yeah, so Carl is bragging here about how smart he is in math and how great Brockport is. And we know that Carl feels a little slighted. He does have a little bit of what John R. Melendez has, where if you insult him, he tries to really defend it. He doesn't necessarily take it in and acknowledge it. he needs to defend how great Brockport is and how smart he was in math.
So fuck off, John. You're an idiot.
Well, that's hearsay. Do you have your report card?
My mom definitely does.
And that's a good point by producer Chris. It is hearsay because Carl just is saying it. There's a better piece of evidence, the actual report card. So if we get Carl's brother to get the report card to us somehow, then I will display it here to verify if Carl actually got A's in calculus like he said.
She keeps everything. No, this fucking guy brags about this nonstop, and he's an idiot. It's incredible.
Most of us just laugh at it, but okay.
I understand. But when you find this evidence, though, it's fun. General Science 78, Biology 72, Earth Science 72. All right, so it's all C's in science, even though he's
ABC. John Edwards in the top 3. I don't know why everyone is really criticizing John Edward here. He's doing okay. It's not horrible.
Science teacher. Remember, he was going to get certified.
Phone lines are open, 747-233-4996. Call in. Let me know what you think of John Edward Melendez, what you think of the dues payer bashing me, but also having Jackie the Joke Man on, not just today, but perhaps in the future. Perhaps the Lazy Law News Network will throw in their hat into the Jackie bidding war to have Jackie perform on the channel.
Fight in science teaching. Oh, this is funny.
I'm sorry. That's why I was laughing. I saw the next class that he got an 82 in.
Typing.
How the fuck did John get an 82 in typing? Now, back then they had actual typewriters. It wasn't computer class. It was typing. A lot of times they were taught by weird people. I remember because I took it too. And I think John probably did better than I did in typing.
I thought like in 83, maybe they didn't teach typing or something. They did.
They only had 3 buttons.
He just sucked at it. In shop class, he got a 72.
I don't know how John got a 72 in shop class because that was where the derelicts hung out. Now, when John will explain away this, he said, oh, I was the cool kid. I was drinking and hanging out at the handball courts on Long Island where we're from. If you were playing handball, you were a loser. And when I say loser, like a loser in life. They wore their leather jackets. They weren't big enough or strong enough to play on the football team, so they hung out on the handball courts. They were the derelicts. They were the ones that were drinking in Bethpage State Park. We know that John Edward Melendez was arrested in Bethpage State Park for urinating in public and talking back to that cop, giving the cop the finger. What does that tell you really about who that person is? That's a derelict, an absolute derelict. Now, John has since changed his life completely. Just because you start off poorly, it doesn't mean you can't turn it around. And John Edward Melendez has turned it around. I'm just talking about his past. And we know that he was a derelict in high school. A complete derelict.
Journalism was one of his best grades here. He got an 86 in journalism his sophomore year.
I know how to gossip.
Economics. Home ec. Not economics. Home ec.
Oh.
In his junior year, he got an 80. This
on Long Island, home economics is sewing.
This is my favorite. Music theory. F in music theory.
Which is ironically the chord he couldn't come up with.
Go figure. I love this more than anything. This fucking guy who claims
we were We were chatting amongst ourselves. It's the WAP. Sorry, Rocco. Having is Rocco the WAP. Rocco, Carl, and Bob, and we were talking about how Carl screwed something up. I'm going to show that briefly, but then he's like, well, you said that I was playing with my Star Wars toys. And if you recall, the nap video, I thought was Carl saying, don't step on my Mandalorian. I don't know either. I never heard of the word mandolin until Carl actually said it. And I said to Rocco on that chat group, there's no way you know what the hell a mandolin was. I never heard that in my life, ever.
To be this amazing musician, Atlantic Records, music theory, they didn't have that in my school. So he's bad at computers, he's bad at home ec, and he's bad at music.
And nothing really has ever changed.
Go figure. He passed health. Driver's ed, he got a 72.
And we saw John Edward Melendez almost swerving into oncoming traffic. I've never seen John drive. We saw him on the back of a bike in Cape Coral. He wasn't driving. He was just riding behind that guy with his arms around him. So I don't know if John's really a good driver or not.
So, Stuttering John, not a single A. You're not in Mensa, John. This is incredible right here. For a guy who brags, I wouldn't care about any of this. No. There's no way I would give a shit about someone getting a 72 or a 68. But it's only because of the way John carries himself as the smartest man in the Dabbleverse. Everyone else is a fucking loser. They're all high school dropouts.
Right, most of that is true if you think about it.
These are terrible scores. Let me just remind everyone that John ranks 221 in a graduating class of 336.
That's hard to do.
The guy who put this together for me actually drew some arrows to the
Carl, get rid of that.
important pieces on here. So, unless anyone want to know what the important elements are. Anyway, you want to talk about calculus some more, Cardiff, or you think we're good with that?
So Carl claimed that John Edward Melendez is in the bottom 1/3 of his class. But if you do the math, John Edward Melendez is not in the bottom 1/3, Carl. He's actually just above it. So he's in the middle 1/3. Carl, with all his braggadocious claims that he is the best person at math in the Dabbleverse, actually really fumbled that there. John Edward Melendez, you can come down hard on Carl. He did the math wrong. You're above 1/3, John Edward Melendez. I want to give the reporting what it needs to have, which is fairness. John Edward Melendez is not in the bottom 1/3 of the Plain Edge high school class that he graduated from. Carl was incorrect in his math. A huge blunder by Carl after bragging about how great SUNY Brockport is, how many A's he got in math, how many AP classes he took in math, and then he gets the one math problem that he has to do wrong when calculating if John Edward Melendez is in the bottom 3rd. He's not. Now, of course, I had Devin check that for me, my 9th grader, but that was true.
Right there.
Oh, so Capo got some ideas. He's sitting there in his flop house, locked out. He had no idea how to get in, so he said, I'm going to watch YouTube. And I think someone on there said, hey, Dopey, why don't you watch a channel on how to break into a room? Now, obviously, most of the YouTube channels say, get a black guy, find the black guy to break in, which I don't agree with. I mean, that sounds racist to me. Obviously, I'm 1/17th black, so I don't like to hear that kind of things. But then someone said, why don't you take a butter knife and try and get into the room? Now, when you're faced with the choice of running, listening to the Dewsbury, or watching Capo trying to break into the room, I chose Capo.
If I had a hammer, I could probably. I'm getting exhausted.
I love how he gives up so easily and everything is someone else's fault. I wish I can do that. I would feel so great during the day. Nothing is my fault. You try for a few seconds and then you just give up. I love that.
Oh, God. All right. Well, no dice so far.
We'll check back in with Capo later, but that was such an interesting saga. So now we have the show that I wanted to get to on Wednesday. We got 4 cackling broads here. I don't really know who these people are. Now, they say that Missy B is Anthony Cumia's girlfriend or wife. I don't know. The other 3, I have no clue who they are.
Oh, okay. Here's a little hate towards our friend Gavin. I love Anthony, but F Gavin McGinnis from Dark Side with Love. Oh,
everybody hates Gavin.
I'm just I'm not like a hater of Gavin. I've had several pleasant interactions.
So apparently this guy Gavin and Cumia had 2 shows competing. I don't know. And then now that they've merged together to one, I believe those 2 guys are working together. That's what I got. But I want to get more information from these 4 broads about what actually happened, because we know that I guess people were terminated from their employment, or they're no longer doing shows on Anthony Cumia's channel. And it's always tough when you're an entertainer to go into the business of entertainment. And a lot of times you end up spending more of your own money than actually making money, because you're so used to just performing, and now you got to be the boss, and it's tough.
With him, but like the first time I ever spent time like in a group with Gavin, he was way too drunk and he started making up some story about like
Gavin drunk. Never.
No, never. He started making up some story about like bringing Anne into a bathroom somewhere and like doing lines of coke with her and like just like being really weird and gross. And it was just like, wow, way to make a good first impression, Gavin.
He's America's provocateur.
He is quite
like,
polarizing.
I don't like. Oh, haha, that's really fun. And like my husband was there like watching this, and he could tell I was kind of just like, oh, you're a real riot.
He's always looking to get the reaction,
and he does.
Like I said, I've had plenty of.
I'll say I'm slightly currently negative on Gavin, but that will disappear. Yeah, he's not losing sleep over it. My God, he's not. He's living.
So apparently, this guy Gavin is the one now that's in control of the merged product between Cumia and I guess Gavin's old station or network, whatever they were doing. So now there's just one. I think that some of these broads either work there or their boyfriends work there. And now this guy Gavin's coming in and saying, hey, you guys generate zero revenue for us or close to it, and you no longer can work here. But we're getting the employee side of what actually occurred post-merger.
His best life.
He has never been my cup of tea, but that's just me, you know. But I think he's a nice man, you know. But
yeah,
not for everyone. Yeah,
I totally get what, like, I understand, like, that he did what was best for him. And you know what, like, you can't say, like, oh, why don't you care about these people you don't know? Like, why?
Oh my God, enough with the fillers. I don't know who this girl is, but like. If you're going to speak in public, learn how to do it properly. I always wondered if Howard Stern gave some form of training to the people that came in after the show has been going. I know when John Era was there, they didn't have that. But when someone like Shuli goes there, and at that time frame, there should be complete training. One, how to reduce your fillers. And sometimes Howard would announce it, but also two, not to speak over each other. And I'm not saying that they're doing it here, but this girl here, the it's something that you have to eliminate. I find a lot of times with performers, actors, and stand-up comedians, they have a routine in their head. So with that, they don't necessarily use connectors, but you put them out in the wild, in the real world, and all of a sudden their speech is filled with connectors. It's horrible to listen to.
Why don't you care to handle this in a way
when companies merge?
Sympathy when you may not have those qualities, you know?
Right.
And it's like he was there to do a business thing, not to do a human relations thing, and
Right.
So
when businesses merge, people get fired all the time, honestly.
Every time. When I was with Now This, and they merged with Group 9 Media in 2017, there was so many layoffs, and I wasn't laid off right away, but I felt it. But they there's a lot of things that happened during those times. Like I was responsible for one of the verticals, and they just got rid of it and didn't tell me it was happening, and I was like busting my ass producing a bunch of content for it, and then they just got rid of it. They never brought me in to say that they were going to sunset it. They announced it on an all hands meeting, and I'm just sitting there like just smiling like ha ha ha, and I'm like,
well,
what the fuck am I going to do now? It's never pretty. It's all for the best interest in the direction of what the company wants to do and the decisions that are made behind the closed doors. But then that's also like I'm giving an example of a very large company, and
and it applies to smaller mergers as well. Very well put here by whoever this Anthony's girlfriend. Sorry, I forgot your name, but you're still using but very intelligent in what she's saying. And when you do have a merger, there are going to be things that overlap. You don't need two in-house attorneys. You need no attorneys. You don't need two accountants. You don't need two dopes doing a show for 4 people that is ancillary to the main show. You don't need them, and you have to get rid of them. A business is in business for one reason and one reason only. That's to make a profit. That is it. I'm assuming it's a for-profit business. Every single one of them, including your own, including the dues payer. It's in existence for one purpose. That is to make a profit. That is it.
Compound Media was a little different.
It's hard being a boss, right? Yeah. So
yeah. There's a lot going out in that with that, and there was some things that just weren't working to increase the numbers that were needed, and so when those things don't match up, you have to start making bigger decisions instead of having it get sucked dry.
Well, there's no Anthony hate. Like
I know there's no Anthony hate.
So exactly, you know what I mean? It's just like
not one person.
Well, the cool thing is we know it's Missy B, right? She gets to hear Anthony complaining at night. Look, I got this stupid station now. I'm paying all this stupid rent in Manhattan. Now I can't do it anymore. I'm giving in my own money, presumably, each month or every quarter, and they're not making any money anymore. They're just not doing it. The pay model for that is pretty much gone. But if you look at what the dues payer is doing, that's where everyone's looking to get into again. The YouTube model.
Person is upset with Anthony.
Yeah.
No, he only wanted to try to do it in the best case, and honestly, like he it was something that he knew he needed to do 2 years ago, but he really wanted to hold off on it, and he did, and it cost him a lot to do that, but he wanted to see if there was a better way to do it, and there wasn't, and so those guys got an extra 2 years, really. So, and then for people to say like, "Oh, you didn't get any severance? Fuck you."
So she's really hearing what Anthony's telling her. And it's true. You are not entitled to severance. If you're an employee at will with no contract, then you don't have to give notice when you leave your employment. You don't have to give 2 weeks. You can leave whenever you want. And an employer can fire you for any reason, so long as it's not an illegal reason. They can fire you for any reason. They can fire you because they don't like your hair. They can fire you because you use too many fillers. Any reason. Like
Severance, do you know what those guys got? They got thousands of dollars of studio equipment.
That was a smart move by Cumia. Instead of paying severance, which he's not obligated to do, and to make his job easier, he just gives him the equipment, and then he doesn't have to pay someone to go up in New York City and pack up all the equipment and store it somewhere. He said, "Hey guys, I'm the nice guy Cumia. Take my equipment." Killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and he comes out looking great.
Right? Like, all the equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
They were gifted so much video studio equipment.
Great. I got no job, but I got a camera.
So it's like, for these guys who already have the talent and know-how, it's like, here, you're given this. Yeah, that's a pretty penny. I would say that's severance. And then you're also going off of people promoting you. When you leave a job, they might refer you to another company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your little leg up. Ant's leg up for everybody, or their leg up for everybody. This is Ant promoting it, and then everybody else promoting it. And there's such a great community. And I think everybody should kind of stick by and not be so butthurt just because somebody had to make a logical business decision. It's not just about you.
Hey,
not you as the people who are working. I'm talking about you as the viewers. These viewers who are, all. But everyone's always going to find a way to be unhappy. Everyone's going to be bitching.
Never liked me personally. I mean, like the viewers that I brought in liked me, of course, but the old, I think the old.
I've never watched any one of their shows. I don't even know if they have shows. This girl, Chrissy, Keanu, and Kim, and Missy B, I've seen on WATP. But man, she is really intelligent. Really, what she's speaking about has a lot to do with corporate. I'm presuming from what she's saying, she's been in the corporate aspect, and you can transform that into smaller business as well, especially when it's time to merge or cut ties because it's not profitable anymore.
Like Opie and Anthony fans, so many of them are just like, oh, like just never.
Not everyone is everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Again, Gavin, is like, he can be brutal, which is why people online are mad. But again, Anthony, yeah, you're right. I guess. I mean, he's done everything that he can do. So.
My only thing is I wish I had more notice because I would have done a much grander final episode, and perhaps I would have handled my maternity leave differently. That's all. But
now, if you translate that, I wish I had more notice because I would have done a final show, and also I would have handled my maternity leave. What? Take more of it? Is the only thing worse than overdoing your maternity leave is taking paternity leave. No man ever should take paternity leave for any reason, unless for some reason you're a gay guy and you have a kid. But if you're a man, you never take paternity leave. No employer will ever look at you the same, ever. It's the way it is in this world. So here she's saying, I wish I had more notice. Well, guess what? If you wanted to leave at any moment, you never had to give Anthony notice, not even a minute's notice. We're talking legally. You don't have to give 2 weeks notice. That's not your obligation. So it works the other way too. And you got as much notice as you need. If you don't realize that your job is in jeopardy, then you're not in connection with your employment. You don't understand what's going on. Jack Welch, the former CEO of General Electric, used to have a saying, and he was very strict about this. When you terminate someone, it's in the best interest of both parties. One, that employee is not performing up to the standard of the company, but that employee will do much better things somewhere else. So it's in your best interest. Sometimes you can't see it initially, but eventually you got to make your own way.
Of course, when he moved down there, I thought, okay, like it's a matter of time.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not everybody really does. When there's a layoff, you do not get a heads up. And I'm not trying to make you feel a certain way by saying that, but it's just like Like, I think about when I got laid off. I was just taken into an office and I recorded it. I have my layoff on because I was wondering if, like, because I believe that I was laid off because of my affiliation with Anthony.
Really?
Wow. I believe that. I
Oh,
absolutely believe that. I worked so hard at that. My numbers, like, I had numbers to actually give them. Be like, this is the numbers of this channel before I was producing and editing for you. Here are your numbers now. Like, I created a whole thing. Like,
They're allowed to terminate her for her affiliation with Anthony. There would not be an illegal termination. It's not falling under any type of protective class, meaning whether it's based upon her gender, her race, or something else. That would be perfectly fine. A lot of times your handbook as an employee at a larger company will dictate that you're not allowed to record certain conversations or anything dealing with the business. That doesn't really matter. But if you are making money, regardless of who you're connected to, the business should keep you. Or if they do terminate you, if you really can bring in money for a business, then you'll be fine somewhere else
to negotiate,
and you're better off somewhere else.
They never gave me a raise, but I would like bring these as like a, hey, like, for your yearly reviews. And so when that happened, that sucked. But yeah, you don't know. Like, I would have loved to have known. And
You're
they
like,
acted
I
like
would
they
have
were going to
broken
help
up
me.
with Anthony long ago. Had I known.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad I wasn't with that liberal company anymore. I was just like
kidding.
a sheep in wolf's clothing. Wait,
Yeah.
wolf in sheep's clothing. That one. Yeah, no, it was awful. I mean, it was really like a blessing in disguise. It was completely miserable. But sorry, not to just go off on that, but really, it's like layoffs are never pretty. And I know Anthony loves everybody, and he's always willing to help anybody with anything. If, like, I hope you guys know that if you needed something, you can reach out to him and talk to him about it. Maybe not so much of like, I know Gino had called me to like.
I miss you. Got to work on your connectors, and you are smart enough to get rid of them quickly, but you need someone to tell you the likes, everything else is fine with your speech. You just got to get rid of that.
Like, try to get understanding. I was like, hey, I don't really know the details of it.
He
I
so
just know that.
respects what you said. You're like, put your big boy pants on, and
Yeah, like, I'm gonna give you. Yeah, like, I'm like,
I gotta hand it because nobody ever wants to bother Anthony, right?
Yeah,
right.
Because the man has obviously done so much for Visconti and everybody. That's why no one says a bad word about him. So, but yeah, it's different dealing with Gavin. I think I'm only surmising because with this man milling around, going back and forth in his head, and trying to deal with Gavin, but nobody has a bad word to say about.
So I guess this girl is dating that guy Gino. Again, I don't know who they really are, and she's hearing Gino bitch about this whole situation. I guess Gino was working at the Compound Media place, and now post merger, he's really got nowhere to go, probably because he has no audience.
Yeah. The thing with Gavin, like, you have to also understand, like, this guy was like the co-founder of Vice. He also found another company that digital marketing company. And now like he is like sort of like, I would say, like a prodigy in some ways when it comes to businesses. Like, he is very, very brilliant in that. So there is that eccentric personality trait of him that can be considered unlikable, because he does push the envelope with people and he wants to get that reaction from you. But also there is this, like, you do have to respect him in some form for what he has achieved. And then
very, very well put by Missy B here. And a lot of times you see that these mid-level companies have an eccentric leader, and that's the reason why they went there. They're willing to take the risk. They're different. They're not just an employee. They always say that there's two types of people in business. One, the hustlers, and the workers. The workers never hustle. The hustlers never work, and not hustle in a negative sense. But yeah, it appears that this guy Gavin was on that eccentric side.
He was squeezed out of that company for his provocative ways and ways of thinking. So, we kind of know what we're getting with him. He is an open book in some cases, I would say. Unless, there are some things that...
What is this show, though? I don't understand how these four broads got together. I don't know where this came from, but I did like what they were saying in relation to current business situation. I know in the Dabbleverse there's that merger, but either way, you can learn a lot from this show.
Of all the
I want to say he's
bosses,
fed, but he's definitely
all
not.
the bosses I've ever dealt with are people that I've worked with, Gavin is the first one to say when it comes to negotiation, you snooze, you lose. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Capo, after his first failed attempt to get into his flophouse room, is now outside. If you look at those sunglasses, I don't know if you're able to see it here, but only I'm not even sure if it has. It may just have one side of that sunglass, but he's still locked
I
out.
need to get in my fucking room. I just want to go in my room and relax. Plain and simple.
He struck me wrong about the situation was like a good employer would never bring somebody on and let them work without a contract. I just that's just something that you establish from the beginning.
Negro, please. A good employer will never let someone work without a contract. Almost all employees don't have a contract. I presume most of you, if you're working for a company, don't have a contract. And here's the problem that a lot of people have. A contract, in theory, gives you this safety. People want to take risk, but they don't want to take too much risk. They want to work for a company, but they want a contract. They want to have terms. They don't want to be terminated at will. That's not true at all. If you are good enough anywhere, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're female, if you are good enough, meaning you can generate revenue for a company and that company terminates you, it's in your best interest. Don't worry about a contract because you can breach a contract. That contract provides a false sense of security. Don't worry about a contract. In fact, if you're worth what you're worth, you don't need a contract because you will be able to earn that anywhere. This is so untrue by what this girl is saying.
So that just seems sketchy to me, because a lot of people who do that, honestly, and this is just from my past experience, I'm not accusing Gavin because I don't know beyond what I'm being told right here and now, but in situations that I've personally been involved with where they're kind of standoffish about offering a contract or standoffish about negotiating that contract, it's because they're taking advantage of you and they want to get more out of you than
that's exactly what Now This did to
they're
me.
willing to pay for.
Wrong. You don't go in demanding a contract, especially if you don't have the clout behind it. You don't. You prove to them and you prove to yourself that you can earn and you're an earner. You won't need a contract for that. And they could still breach that contract and they could put terms in there where they can terminate you at will, even if you have a contract.
Yeah. I try to negotiate contracts with them. And they would just you know what? Well, we because
you know what? We'll just go to the 1,000th other person who believes that if they have a computer, a microphone, and a law degree and a camera, that they can broadcast. There's 1,000 other people in that industry. The entertainment industry, including the sports industry, has thousands of people that will pay you to work there. I know people that hire at Giants Stadium for the Giants organization. They can get paid to hire someone there. Not pay them, get paid. So don't ever believe that you're worth a lot more than you really are here.
We're going to be getting rid of this. We want to move you over here and we'll see if that's a good fit with you. And then we're going to, and it's okay, I'm doing all this great stuff. And yeah, there is something sketchy about that. Yeah, you want that security. So I totally understand what you're saying.
So I'm saying, I'm not trying to throw shade on Gavin because I don't know what the circumstances were beyond getting the 411 here on this show. But
maybe they're just old men that we're going to work on a handshake. You know?
It's just that's just sketchy and again very indicative of people who take advantage of other people, and I've seen too many people fall into that situation to not recognize that as a red flag.
From what I understand from what Gina was telling me, that it was a 2-week trial period.
And you have to feel for Missy B too, because in reality, it's her boyfriend or whatever. I apologize if you guys are married. I don't know. He's the employer. He could technically still employ them. If he has money, he could take his own money, employ them, and take the risk that he has to give out his own money, which you generally do in business, until it starts to become profitable. Now, I think that these broads are now dating or even working for Anthony or were working for them, and they're no longer working for him. So really, there is a little pressure on Missy B here.
And I would imagine that's just the season.
It's just not what he said before. It's
it's not what he said before.
What he said.
So he was kind of just changing the rules as it went.
It was haphazard everywhere. It was
it went from
you're
coming on, you're gonna make the same as you made a compound, to now it's just a 2-week trial, to now it's this amount per episode, but you can only do one a week. It went from you have to do it from home to you can use the studio to you can't use the studio.
Guess what, girls? That's the way life is. What you could do is start your own business, your own broadcast studio, pay for your own salary and your salary of all your employees, and make the rules that you want. That's the rules that Anthony set down, and that's the rules that he knew when he merged with this other person that they were going to lay down. No longer can we keep you at the old rate because it's not making any money. You don't make any money. If you did, you'd do it on your own. And I don't know if these girls are doing it on their own or not. But don't come in here believing that it's going to be the same as what Anthony's going to pay you. The reason why he's losing money is because he's overpaying. Or they're not generating enough revenue.
To you can have guests, you can't have guests. To
Right.
I'm afraid
and Tifa will come to my studio
Yeah.
if somebody knows where it is. But then, I mean, Gino just called Gavin, and he didn't even. He was like, "Oh yeah, that thing I said about you're gonna get paid before. That was only gonna be for a little while until I did." Like, all right, but that would be okay.
I can see where that absolutely.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. I mean, and Gino, Jesus, imagine. Thank God I was out of town for the week where he was like.
I
going
know,
through this. Yeah,
and I
my
got the phone
God,
call.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just going like, and that's, I guess, just Gavin. Does it make it right? I'm not sure. But,
And I think Gavin is somebody who would respect if you got paperwork and you made a contract and you worked with a lawyer, if you know a lawyer who knows how to write that kind of stuff out, and you can just be like,
Gavin sounds like the type of guy who I'm familiar with. If you brought a contract to him, he'd fucking laugh at you, rip it up, and throw it out. What you bring to Gavin is revenue. You bring an audience, and I don't know, I'm just speaking hypothetically. I don't know if Gavin is like this or not, but it's to any employer. This is a bad attitude, not by Missy here, but by the others, thinking that if they don't have a contract, then the person's shady or the company's shady. That's bullshit. If you can generate revenue, you can last in business. But what we're hearing now is a lot of people that were getting overpaid by a former entertainer, Anthony, and now they believe that everyone in the future is going to make that same mistake. Well, this guy Gavin's not going to do it.
And come out with like, this is what I was making there. This is what I would like to make. And then like show it to him. Like,
well,
you
did a
right?
proposal, and I did that, and he called it a TLDR.
He also said he told Gino that.
What the fuck's a TLBR?
I love that Chrissy's like doing the right thing, and that's fucked up.
I try to be so professional, Missy, because I know what I'm worth. Like I know what my following is. I know what my numbers are. I know police, and I was just trying to be like, I know I'm worth way more than I was making before. But again, I was doing that because I was loyal to Compound and to Anthony, and because I enjoyed doing it. So
And also, the money guy said, yeah, write up a proposal. Gino and Chrissy both did that. Gavin, when he was talking to Gino, said, I read yours, and then I got.
So I guess post merger, they have a quote unquote money guy, and that's a smart move by Gavin or whoever's doing this. You put all the real hard negative stuff onto someone else, on your accountant. And in life, when you're negotiating, never ever give the first offer unless you're forced to. What does that mean? If someone asks, how much do you want to buy that house for? Generally, if you're selling the house, you have to give that first offer, that first number. But when you're in this blank situation where you're negotiating, you don't know how much you're going to get paid, never ever give the first number unless you're forced to. And here, he tricked these dopes into actually having his money guy, accountant guy, actually have them write up a proposal, which translates to, we don't even want you, but I'm going to trick you into giving the first offer. Let's see what you ask for. Now, if it's so low, we may take it. But either way, it was beautifully played by whoever is running this corporation, this new one, in the sense that he got the quote-unquote talent to actually break that first rule of negotiation, never give the first number unless you're forced to. And then once you do that, they're gonna chop through everything there and obviously negotiate it way down if they're even gonna accept it at all.
To hair and makeup on Chrissy, and I stopped reading it. So
it's not that I was like, yeah. And
one of those broads asked for hair and makeup on this YouTube channel.
What was the hair makeup about?
I didn't. It's not like I was asking for a hair.
This girl asked for hair and makeup. One, she's wearing way too much foundation. I mean, she doesn't need to have. She's a pretty girl, but she doesn't need this foundation. Her hair is the typical wavy hair. I'm sure it comes out very wavy. You can buy her a Dyson blow dryer to blow it straight. I mean, it should be straight. But what else would you need? Reduce the foundation, and that's it. You don't need a hair and makeup person. And my God, the fact that you're asking for a hair and makeup person at this level is so outrageous.
Makeup person. I just said like this is the amount I need, which includes, and then again like trying to write it out.
Being professional, right? Exactly.
Oh, I see. So she wasn't asking for a hair and makeup person, thank God. She's saying that here's all of my expenses that I incur before I do a dopey YouTube channel show. No, you don't put that in there. And you're asking for way too much. A new employer who you're just trying to work for, if that's what you want to do, doesn't want to hear about all your expenses. They don't give a fuck. They want to hear how much revenue you can bring in, not your expenses, not what it takes to do a show. So girls, this is the wrong way. If they say make a proposal, guys, I don't need a proposal. Let me do my show. Let me show you how much I can make for you. That's all I need. That's my proposal. Right there on a damn napkin. And you can crumple that shit up. You don't go through and start believing that somehow they're going to be as naive as Anthony in business. And they're going to pay you all your expenses. You tell them you have zero expense. In fact, I'm going to pay you. Imagine that. I'll pay you to show you how great I am. And then put on the best performance of your life. Do everything you can to put on the best performance. That's why I laugh when I see the dues payer looking at my poultry numbers and super chats. Super chats at this level. That's what you're focusing on? Super chats? And they were so proud of it too. That's not what you need to focus on. The quality of the show. Is there anything we could do to make it better before we grift more off our audience?
So you were accounting for what you use.
Basically accounting for all the things I spend money on. And
For
like
the show.
No. I mean, if this guy Gavin is who I think he is, and I'm saying it in a general sense, that type of person, I have no idea who he is. I've never heard 1 minute of him. But he sounds like a smart business person. Do not bring them your expenses. That's the last thing they want to hear.
like guest hosts, like like traveling for things. Like it just was it was like a thorough.
Yeah, you were very thorough on how expensive it is for you to make money. Remember, even if you bring in $100 in super chats, now you're telling this guy, but I got to spend $200 because I got to bring in a guest host, I got to travel, I got to do all this. Zero. You got to take some risk. These girls want a contract. They want the benefits of more compensation, but they don't want to take any risk. Never, ever tell them all your expenses. I would rip that up and throw it out.
So you had it like really specific.
Yeah, just because I figured like, why not be as professional as possible? Like,
And that's what you were led to believe by the guy said, yeah, write up a proposal. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yeah.
Girls, I'm sorry, but the reason why you were writing a proposal was they're telling you we don't want you. And they're going to get you to break rule number 1 in negotiation. Never give the first number unless you're forced to. I bet you anything in this proposal with all her expenses, including her hair and makeup, which again should not be that much. And this girl's got a face for it. She doesn't need so much hair and makeup. I mean, I see too much foundation on both these, but that's not the point. You need to be able to tell them how much you're going to make for them. Everything else you cut out and you take and you eat it until you start making the money.
You're just being, not hair and makeup sounds vapid. I don't mean to say that or something like that, but you're just like, this is what I have to do. This is like, you were being professional, right? And then he's like, I read that and I just threw it away. Yeah.
Like all those shows on Compound that had, like, I remember when Milo had his show, like they had a hair and makeup person. Like that's not unreasonable.
Not that you needed a person, just this is
No,
the time
not a person.
and like a.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they had a person. They had a person that was designated.
I think
there.
that was just like, I don't think he was.
I mean, this girl could use that, but the other 3 are okay. Again, with less foundation, and never ever cut your bangs, girls. But if you're gonna go with this wavy hair, I know it takes time to straighten that hair, to straighten it. And I'm not saying you have to get chemical straightener, and I know you have to blow it dry straight if you want, or you just put some mousse in. You could go with it at the way it is. But that's it. But the employer doesn't want to hear any of this at all. And it's not a sexist thing. If you're a guy coming in with the same thing, they don't want to hear it either. They don't want to hear how much money you got to spend on weed or whatever to do your show. Don't want to hear it.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know the ins and outs of Milo's payment himself. I'm just saying, like, his show itself had an audience, had like a hair and makeup person, like had the behind the scenes people.
Right.
These are all things that were like.
And you wonder why it's not on anymore. I mean, that's way too much expense for what's going on here.
Standard. So it's like to like not even ask for a whole person to like just have that as part of it. Like, yeah, that should be standard because like it's already standard in your studio. It doesn't.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it wasn't standard. That's not what's standard in the studio. What you get in the studio is that's standard is you have the booth guys and you have the technology and the lights and the space itself. And what you choose to do that under that roof is up to you and on your dime.
Right.
Okay.
Very good by Missy B. Exactly. And she's not just defending Anthony. She's giving these girls real world advice because somehow they made it through their entire life believing that their actions right now, which are critical to their career, assuming that they were working for Anthony previously, I don't know. But if they were, the way to get into the next post-merger business is not by going and telling them how much money you need at all. In fact, you're probably going to have to work for free or even maybe pay them in one way or another.
And Chrissy asks literally for nothing. I mean, you wouldn't. It's just an example of him, being like, I'm not even going to bother to read through this. I don't think Gavin wants a contract or something. It's like,
No, I don't
just
think he
go
wanted
along with me on my crazy train, and I'm not even gonna,
Well, so what's the situation right now then? Like, what is it? Still this 2-week trial thing?
I don't
Like,
think
what
it's
is
gonna
that?
work out. Yeah, because I basically need to make more. To make it make sense for me, uncensored. I would need to make more than I would make on YouTube, or else it's like, why bother? So, and he just is not gonna. He doesn't sound like he's interested in doing that. So I don't think it's gonna work out.
then I know. And then why also if you.
You know what I mean? Like, why would it make sense for me to do content for a limited audience that I can't put anywhere else, but make less money than I would? Like, let's say I do a show and I interview Kim here, and it's for censored and whatever it is, 20,000 people see it, and I can't. It's only for versus if I do it for YouTube, I can make more money and I can monetize it and I can get super chats and I can get AdSense and I can put it on Rumble, Rockfin, Twitter, everywhere else.
Right.
And make way more money. Why would I limit myself in both viewers and money to do it for censored? That was the only argument.
Doesn't that answer your question though, Chrissy? Doesn't it answer your question? You answered your own question. And that's the beauty of termination according to Jack Welch, and I believe in it fully. You were terminated there for your own benefit, for the company's benefit and for your own benefit. Now you're realizing, hey, I could do this all on my own. Of course, you're taking a lot more risk by doing it. You don't have the safety of a steady paycheck, but you have to make that decision. You can't have it both ways. You can't have all this comfort and safety, but then demand so much more money. You can't do it. So do it on your own. No one's stopping you from doing that.
I was trying to make with him. So
Right. Have you asked them if to like renegotiate maybe a new contract or contract?
He doesn't want to read one.
He
I
doesn't
don't
seem
think.
interested.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't want to read one either if all you do is tell me all your expenses about your hair and makeup and your guests.
And that's okay. That's how he is. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
I would maybe be
you know.
interested, but he really didn't seem interested in that. It, like from like every step of the way, he has not acted like someone who is like really interested in having
Negotiation.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
It's all right. It's like it's really all good.
Anthony's a fucking genius, though. Not only did he get Missy B, but also he's coming out looking like the great guy, and I guess he is. I don't know him personally. I only met him a few times, but it's great for him. And Missy B is in a tough situation here because I think that either these broads work for him or their husband or boyfriend work for him. So it's not easy really to face all this.
Doesn't even shit on him really. He's like, I just knew this is just how he is, and I mean, it just might not be right for me. And you never know, just
No, but it's still that's still like shitty to like have one preconceived notion and then completely have it like flipped and
the people that work for you telling you, yeah, write up a proposal.
Again, we learn a lot from this, but remember the golden rule of negotiation. Never give the first number unless you're forced to. How does that apply even to the legal world? Well, let's say that you have a car accident case and then you want to resolve it. And presumably both parties eventually want to resolve it. Never give a first number unless you're forced to. So you always want to have your opponent give the first number. Always. Because you never know where that's going to land. But if you are forced to give a first number, make sure that you are embarrassed by it, that it's so outlandish. But in this situation, you got to know to alter that because that guy got these broads to give a number And it was probably so outlandish that he's not going to accept it at all. Again, the response to that, if you wanted to get your employment, is, I don't need any numbers. I don't need anything right now. Let me show you. And I will be so valuable to your show. I will make so much money for you, and you will see the future. It's not going to happen straight away. You will see the future in me. Imagine as an employer when you hear that, as opposed to seeing a 17-page contract that's so detailed and how much expense you have. This is not a big market for these girls. I mean, right now, and I'm just using them specifically. They're not going to generate a lot of revenue on their own or on another platform at all.
Thorough proposal or a crayon contract, right? Is that what he called it?
Right.
And then he goes,
Contract, is that
and
right?
then Gavin's like, well,
I called it. Yeah.
yeah. And then Gavin, I feel like, was mad about that they even did that or whatever. And then he's like, well, I'm not even going to read through them. Now I'm going to offer you less than I initially did. That's pretty.
I still like what I said with.
I saw that coming too. So they're saying that even if they made that proposal, of course they're going to offer less than that. Of course he is. And that's why he got them, because they're naive, to break that first rule.
With Gino. I said, okay, so you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to make the greatest shows ever. To write a show every day, have a show written and ready, with space of like maybe like current events, but make like the best show ever, like your life depended on it, and go headstrong or headlong into it, and see what those 2 weeks bring, but have your plan B ready. Like,
holy shit. Missy B is right on here. So smart. This is the part that I did see, and I get the chills when I hear it. Forget the fucking contract. If you got 2 weeks, make it the best goddamn show you can do. I never saw Gino perform ever. I don't know what he does. I don't know what his audience is. But you have 2 weeks. Make it the best show ever. Everything that you can put into it, make sure that it's there. Do you see that coming from the dues payer? Or are they just going live, grifting, and having some guy filter the chats? Or are they putting all their effort into the quality of the show? That's what an employer wants to hear. That's what that Gavin guy would love to hear, I'm sure. Put it in there. This girl is very, very intelligent. I'm not sure if she got that phrase from Anthony, but she's 100% right. You have an opportunity here. 2 weeks. You're lucky to get 2 weeks. Put all your effort into the show, not into drafting a contract about how much your hair and makeup costs.
Know what you would want to do if you don't want to do it. And I even said to Gino too, I'm like, say that works, but maybe in the long run you don't even want to work for Gavin. Then don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, this is what an intelligent person is doing and saying. That's amazing advice to this guy Gino. The only reason why I know Gino is because Rocco the Wop, he always dresses like him. I have no idea what that means when he does it. But this guy Gino's got to stop being a little baby, apparently, and put his effort into the show. Listen to Missy B here. And I'm backing this advice 100%. Don't go crying to Missy B. She tried to get to Anthony through Missy B because Gavin was being mean to me. Gavin was changing the rules. I think the guy's name's Gavin. He's doing all this stuff to me. No, idiot. Put your energy into your show. You're lucky to get 2 weeks anywhere. No one's ever heard of you. So put your energy into the show. And it doesn't matter if you're ever heard of. Put your energy into the show. Show us what you got. Are you going to whine, cry, smoke pot in your basement, or you're going to give us the best goddamn show you could ever do ever? Otherwise, why are you coming on here? Because 99% of shows will fail. Which one are you going to choose, big boy? And you had to have Missy B tell you that. And I have so much goddamn respect for this girl, for even knowing to say that. And you know what? She's not just saying it to him. She's saying it to most of the people out here. And they come to you and say, Vince, oh, I was on 3 TV shows and I have this movie credits. I don't give a fuck. It's not going to work on YouTube. It's just not going to work unless you're willing to commit to your show. And goddamn, Missy B, you told that little whiny bitch what he should do. I don't know what he has done in response to it because he's going to do 2 options, Missy, and this will be perfect for Anthony and whoever is still running it. What did he choose? Is he going to take the 2 weeks, or is he going to cry to his wife or his future wife, who's now looking at this idiot who doesn't even have a job? I think John can slip right in there now. John M. Melendez is making money. John M. Melendez is an entrepreneur. Guaranteed, John, whoever that girl is, I think you once were talking with her, guaranteed 221, you can get in there now. At least you took the risk. You didn't call Missy B whining like a little bitch. No, John Aaron Melendez performs every goddamn day. Despite everything he's tried to do to me, I won't take it away because this is a news station. I'm reporting the news here. I give a little commentary, but this is the news. Very, very great advice. We'll see what that guy Gino does with it.
It might not just be the right fit. And I mean, Chrissy, and we've been telling him that for forever, and he is trying to work on it. Yeah, he's a 55-year-old stubborn man, and
stubborn Italian.
He's a very blow with the wind kind of like, I have to feel something. I need, you know what? If a light flickers, then I will go with Gavin.
I'm letting this go now. That's a loser mentality. That's the loser mentality. Go with the wind. No, you were just put to something by a girl who told you. You cried to Missy B because she has a connection to Anthony. You thought Anthony was going to keep bailing your ass out by taking money out of his own pocket and paying you. That gravy train is over. You cry to Missy B. Why? Because now this guy Gavin's making the rules and he's giving me 2 weeks. You have a choice. I have to either work really hard for 2 weeks, really hard on entertaining, or I can make up some bullshit loser excuse. And I guarantee you, this girl, I don't know if they're married or not, but John Aaron Melendez, you have a shot now. Now's your time to act. Because she's looking for a guy that could take care of her, like every female ape will do. Every female ape, including the human apes. That's what they look for, John Aaron Melendez. She doesn't want to hear a 55-year-old guy crying about having to work hard. Because Missy's advice was this, dopey. You got to work hard. Work harder than you ever worked before in your life. Which are you going to choose?
If it doesn't flicker, then I won't. Like, I mean, it's like deciphering. Who knows what? So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, okay.
That's my door. I'm saying dump this loser straight away. I don't care if you're married or divorced. Get rid of this loser. If that's what he's saying. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he took Missy's advice, and maybe right now, right at this very moment, he's planning that show to make it the best goddamn show ever. Ever. I don't know. Or is he going out performing for 40 drunks, wasting 3 days traveling to perform for 40 drunks for an hour for $200? Which he's going to choose, because that's the safe way. That's the easy way out. There's no easy way out. There is no shortcut home when it comes to this business. Any dope with a computer, with a law degree, and a goddamn camera can broadcast. Anyone. There is a low barrier to entry. Generally, you don't want to be in that type of market at all. Anybody can do it. But only a few of us can do it well. And that's what Missy B is telling you, dope. You got to work hard. And here's your opportunity. And here is what Gavin's going to see. How you react to that advice. Do I have a hard worker, or do I have a little baby that's going to cry about the wind blowing one way or another?
Okay. Let's and it's almost like Missy, that show that you're describing, like where you work really hard and you write it out, and then just put it on, YouTube. If you're completely canceled in that way, put it on Rumble. You'll probably make more.
It's like almost like just that opportunity to do it. And then in the end, it really, a lot of times these things are, I want to say blessings in disguise, but everything is in some way or another. But, like
100% what she's saying is what Jack Welch said. When someone is terminated, it's better for the employee and it's better for the employer. You're not a good fit here. If you're lazy and you want to just do your show for drunks like they were doing the past 30 years, that's not cutting it anymore. But if that's the safety you want, then go for it. It's not going to get you far, but go for it. Or change your path, because we want winners here. We want hard workers here.
Things come out of this in a good way. Like, for example, when I got laid off and I hated it and I was just like, media is awful. I hate this. This is miserable. Like, I'm not doing what I want. I want to like reach people. And I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll become a personal trainer. And I make
yeah, exactly.
way better money that way. And I have a way better schedule. And I have people online I work with. I could just sit here and I can work, and it's great. I love that. And I'm actually helping people directly, and it's great. And I can still use my video skills that I use to send them videos, and I edit things for them. So
there you go. Very proud of this girl. Very, very proud of her attitude. And attitude's a lot of it. Attitude is really most of it. What's your attitude when it's time to perform? Is it, I don't want to do it. I want to put in 2 weeks of hard work. I want to be paid for my makeup and my hair with way too much foundation. Or are you going to put in the work?
Do you not think he's fat right now? Maybe he should become a personal trainer.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
So back to Capo here. He was outside, as you recall. If you're just joining us now, Kenneth Pogue is locked out of his new flop house. I asked him why he's in a new flop house. Remember, he used to live with his wife and his wife's family in a three bedroom, but they had one little room to themselves. See, now he's in a new flop house and he's locked out. But one of his fans told him to use 2 butter knives.
Fuck. Alright, maybe we'll try the second one now.
And I was on the treadmill watching every second of this. I was like hoping that Capo can get in.
I don't know who this Mr. Kill Everything is, but for
Yeah, who the fuck is this Kill Everything dude? I'm just going to spend a few seconds on this because I just wanted to address it. I don't know who this guy is, but Johnny Melendez seems to be obsessed with
some
him.
reason the guy fucking hates me. I don't know what the fuck I ever did.
Dude that goes on. He's a John because hating you gets brownie points. For these losers that want the brownie point. Notice me, I hate Stuttering John. Look, I create a Twitter account dedicated to hating John. Follow.
Clay, one of my favorite people in the Dabbleverse, and he's 100% right. How many of these dopes come on here and they do shows, countless show after show, about John Melendez? John Melendez is a narcissist. Here's all the reasons. Here's all his actions. All we need now is another dope doing the same exact show that we're all doing.
Follow me and love me. Because that's all you can fucking do to get noticed.
So, Kristen, hey, Kate, hey, Rocco, Shuli, Cardiff, listen to fucking Vince the lawyer. Never cross the Duke. I learned the hard way.
Let's just hear him. You see, everybody's messed up by sending John, I don't know, cases of beer, and everybody's messed up by sending Chad Zuma coleslaw. It's like, why not potatoes?
What?
What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Who wears a checkered shirt and a black tie?
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
John can get
On
his
stream.
revenge. I mean, if he has sacks of potatoes. I'm making a joke here. Nobody sends stun.
Is this guy boring or what?
Holy shit, John Edward, I agree.
Fail. This is terrible.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a shirt all the way buttoned to the top, and I'm going to wear a tie for my live.
Yeah, and look at this delivery.
100%. What the hell?
Holy shit.
Oh, it's terrible.
You're not kidding.
It's terrible. I didn't even know you was telling a joke.
What a fucking loser.
Yeah, and speaking of non-loser, let's go back to Cable. But I don't know what the hell that guy's all about. But either way, I don't know. I 100% agree with John and Melendez there.
Oh, shit. Yo. Chris Mack, thank you for the 2 butter knife trick. Holy shit.
Yeah, Capo finally got it after 45 minutes, having a black roommate, not being able to get in, which is unheard of. And then second, using 1 butter knife, going out to YouTube. One of his fans said, hey, Dopey, why don't you try 2 butter knives? And apparently that's all it took.
I got in. I fucking got in the room. Woo! Yo, Chris Mack, I gotta give you props on that. Dude, two knives are better than 1, dude. Let's go.
Congratulations to Kenneth Pogue for getting into his new room at his new flop house, and I appreciate that. All right, this was a good casual Friday hanging with Vince. We're going to be back on Monday live, same as always, the same time exactly. I will be out some part of this summer, I guess. I still got to go on another vacation, I think. But either way, I'll be back here on Monday, 12 noon. Hang with Vince. Are you in? Compromisable?
Compromisable.
All right, then I'll see you then. Carl, you got to get better at that math, man. If you're going to say John Melendez is in the bottom 1/3, make sure he's actually in the bottom 1/3. He was at like 34, 35%. You were close, but mathematics is always exact. There is no subjectivity in mathematics, Carl. You should have learned that at SUNY Brockport or when you were getting your AP credits at your old high school. All right, I'll see everyone back here on Monday, hanging with Vince. I see you out there, Clay Dabbler. Yeah, Johnny boy, take it away.